This is Out of Luck, a Dylan First FBI suspense thriller, Book 5, written by Kate Bold, read by Teresa. Prologue. As was his daily habit, Travis Buchanan stopped in the ground floor restroom before heading to the elevator. He always used this restroom instead of one of the private company restrooms to avoid running into any of his colleagues. Coming here always gave him a private moment to collect his thoughts, and today he had a lot on his mind. Do I really want to be on time? He asked himself. A major meeting was about to start up on the 25th floor, and the very top bosses of the Shadden and Vale Financial Group would be up there, along with the head minions of the local office. Maybe old man Shadden is already sorting out who he'll deign to talk to today. Travis had only met the smug, fat CEO a couple of times, if met was even the right word. When Travis had tried to engage Rupert Shadden in conversation, or talk to him about a project, or try to impress him with his abilities, the old buzzard had fairly turned up his nose at him, treating him like a perfect nobody. For that matter, all the visiting bosses who would also be here today had treated him the same way. So humiliating. But how was he going to keep it from happening all over again? As he went into the restroom, he noticed that one other man was in there, washing his hands at one of the sinks, a man in a business suit much like his own. Travis barely gave the guy a glance, just enough to register that it was no one of importance in the company. He paused to think over what to do next. Maybe I shouldn't hurry. Would it be better to be strategically late? He'd never tried that before, and maybe he'd been a bit of a chump to always be so prompt and accommodating. Maybe I should just make them wait. Just a little anyway. If he took a slightly prolonged bathroom break, he would still have plenty of time to catch the elevator up to the top floor. And then he could just stroll calmly into the conference room without actually holding up the meeting. Maybe they'd give him their full attention if he just walked in casually after most of the others were seated. He thought it over and liked the images that came to mind, all heads turning his way as he entered the solemn gray room with its wide windows overlooking the city. Maybe then, when it came time for Travis to stand up and make his presentation, everyone would give him their full attention. Even Shadden and his cronies. He could picture their faces, those arrogant billionaires who ran the company, whose own lives were lived in warmer, richer towns and in other countries. They never came here to Des Moines in the winter. A brisk September day like this was the closest they would ever come to the cold months. And of course, those bosses had just stopped by so the managers of this branch office could grovel and flatter them and butter them up and try to convince them how much more money this branch was going to make this year. And for Travis, the stakes were especially...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?